Okay, today I'm going to explain you how do you answer Unit 15 from your book. First of all, you need to open your book on page 31 and 32, and in those pages we have Unit 15, Hook on Social Networks. Objectives, making questions and talk about things we frequently do. Now, according with your sequence, we have to start with the first activity. It says exercise 15.1. Read about two experts talking about Twitter. Now, the question says, how often do you tweet? How often do you tweet? Now, here we have a conversation between two people, Bill and Steve, and on exercise 15.2 we have exercises that you have to say is it a yes or no, and exercise 15.3 you have 4 questions about the conversation. Now we're going to check it. It says, how often do you tweet? Steve, do you know how often young people tweet? Yes, Bill, these days young people are always tweeting. Do you really think so? Let me give you some facts. People between 20 to 34 years old are frequently tweeting. Wow. Do you have more information? Yes. Another fact is that teenagers often tweet during the mornings. They usually tweet in class hours. Oh, I see. That's why they never pay attention and they are always asking the teacher to repeat the lessons. Do you know who never tweets? No, tell me. Women older than 60 years old never post messages on Twitter, but they often do it on Facebook. And how often do you tweet? I never tweet, but I usually post messages on my Facebook. Okay, now here we have exercise 15.2. Read again and answer the questions. We have 5 questions. 1. Do young people tweet? Yes or no? 2. Does Bill know about Twitter? 3. Do teens pay attention in class? 4. Do 60-year-old women tweet? 5. Does Steve post messages? Now, according to the conversation on exercise 15.3, we have read again and answer the following questions. The first question says, where does a 20-year-old person tweet? 2. Why does a teenager tweet? 3. Who posts messages on Facebook? And 4. How often does Steve tweet? Okay. Now, on this unit, we're going to check questions about it. We have simple present in question, auxiliary do or does, first person I, we, you, they, and third person does. Does he, does she, does it. Now, when you ask questions with do or does, you need to answer maybe yes, I do, no, I don't, or yes, he does, she does, or no, he doesn't, she doesn't. Okay, now in this part of the book we're going to check adverbs of frequency. We have the question, how often do you play soccer? How often means that in what frequency do you do something in days. Okay, now on the next page, on exercise 15.8, page 32, it says, ask a question to a classmate. He or she will answer using the correct frequency adverb. Okay, now you don't have partner with you. You have to ask to yourself. The idea is to answer or select what would be the right adverb frequency. we have next to small table about this. We have never, sometimes, often, usually, always. Now, frequency adverbs go before the main verb. For example, the verb is tweet, so it has to be before. And frequency adverbs go after the verb be. If your sentence has verb to be, you have to write after that. But if your verb has a main verb, a normal verb, you have to write before that. Now, by yourself, please, you need to select what would be the right other frequency. For example, we have, do you read newspapers every day? Maybe always, sometimes. 2, today, or do you have lunch here 2 times a week? Yes, often. Yes, they often, or never. 3, does she work late once a month? No, she always, or maybe she never. Do we have to study on weekends? Yes, we never, or we often. And does Michael travel for business? No, he never, or maybe yes, he often. Okay, now the next part of your book, on your workbook, on page 83 and 84, we have to complete exercise 15.4. This one, it says rewrite the sentences using the adverbs in parentheses. Now, the idea is you have to add the adverb frequency that is in brackets into your simple sentence. Okay, for example, I drink coffee every morning. Always is the adverb frequency, so it has to be before the verb drink. I always drink coffee every morning. Number 2, she goes to bed late. Never. Goes is your verb. She never goes to bed late. And 3, my brother is working with me. You have the verb to be, is. So, my brother is often working with me. When you have the verb to be, after. When you have a main verb, before. Now, please, you have to complete the rest. I helped you with the first 3. You have to complete the rest 5. Now, on the same page, on exercise 15.5, write questions according to the answers. Follow the example. Example, do you run in this park? Yes, I always run in this park. Now, you have to write questions about this. For example, you have, no, I never play soccer. Who is your subject? I. So you have to write the auxiliary for I. Do. Do, maybe do you? What is your verb? Play. Do you play soccer? No, I never play soccer. Number 2. Yes, we always have breakfast at 8 o'clock a.m. Now, we have we. What is the auxiliary for we? Do. Do we have breakfast at 8 a.m.? Yes, we have always have breakfast at 8 a.m. And number 3, no, she never uses Twitter. We have she. She is third person, so you have to write auxiliary does. Does she use Twitter? No, she never uses Twitter. Okay, now please, you have to complete the rest. And finally, on the next page, page 84, exercise 15.6, write questions using clues. Give a short answer. Follow the example. You have the example. You, subject, play chess. The verb and the complement. You have the question. Do you play chess? No, I don't. Okay? Now, the idea is you have to check the mark. Is it negative? You have to give an answer in negative. Is it a tick? You have to write a positive answer. For example, number 1, it says, Diana lives in Monterrey. Diana is third person, so you have to write, does Diana live in Monterrey? And it's positive. Yes, she does. Does Diana live in Monterrey? Yes, she does. And number 2, your brother work for Dell. Negative answer. Your brother, it's he. so it has to be third person. Does your brother work for Dell? No, he doesn't. Does your brother work for Dell? No, he doesn't. Okay, and that's all about your workbook. Now, don't forget your calendar. We are on the 1st of April. It's unit 15. Okay, and what are you gonna do? Obviously, the activities from your students, your workbook. Now, don't forget, write the explanation from the video and answer the exercises. And you have to make a video repeating 5 examples from adverbs of frequency. Now, don't forget that it's very important that you have to send your video using adverbs of frequency. And when is the deadline? The deadline, you have the 1st of April to 3rd of April, the student's book, the activities, and the explanation. And 5th of April, you have to send the exercises and the video, this video, on that day. Okay, and that's all about the unit 15. Thank you so much.